Okay, welcome to Honest Astrologer. And today we have a very special guest, the Honest Astrologer himself. Namaste, Vijay ji. How are you?
Namaste, ma'am. Such a pleasure. And I'm so
Yes,
flattered
it's
that
good to be.
you thought I was worth interviewing. So thank you so
Of
much.
course, you are. And it's good to be with you again. How have you been doing? Good?
Good, good, good. God has been
Yeah.
kind. Yeah.
Okay, so yes, how's your year going so far?
It was tough. Today itself, I finished my Venus Moon Rahu. So
Oh,
last 3 months have been a disaster. So a lot of ups and downs. But today it's a Gupt Navratri there, so the blessings of Mother are there. So
very
today
nice.
things look like they're changing for the better.
Very good, very
I went
good.
through very difficult times since last 3 months. Yeah.
Oh, so you are in the best planets to figure out your life, right?
Oh yes, absolutely.
So then, as of now, how do you define yourself from where you are now and how far you've been in your life?
So I think we all continue to evolve. With times, things keep changing. I was this slow gonchu wala guy in my Saturn period. In my Mercury period, I was this sharp corporate guy, classroom to boardroom, doing well. Ketu, I was a lost cause, kya kar rahe pata nahi hai, and it turned me into an astrologer. Venus, yes, there has been my Shani maturity, my Rahu maturity, plus Venus Mahadasha. So the best thing I've had is some wisdom and a particular kind of awakening. I'm not enlightened, I'm just awakened. So it's been good. There are struggles, there are things which I've suffered, but I would say I have evolved. Yes. So that wisdom, that awakening is the best thing that has happened. And yes, the grace of Ishta, that's the best part. So intelligence is different, wisdom is different. I think I've entered the wisdom phase of my life, and I'm very happy and content with whatever has happened. So there are regrets, but at least I ensure other people don't have regrets. So my clients, my family, my kids, I try to save them from the system and this overall jo pagalpan chal raha, I try to tell people not to fall for it.
So then, who made you the person you are today?
Ma, the mother
Excellent.
divine. Because कुछ आपका डेस्टिनी होता है, कुछ ग्रेस ऑफ गॉड होता है. And then thankfully I used to read a lot, think a lot. I have Mercury in the first house, Buddha Aditya Yoga. Plus I have Guru Venus sitting opposite to each other, Rahu 8th house. So I've always wanted to figure out how the world works. Okay. So as children, you are discouraged from asking such questions. And I was a very inquisitive child, but वो ठोक पीट करके नहीं पढ़ लिख के गवर्नमेंट ऑफिसर बनो टाइप्स बॉटम था. But there was a time when I realized how unrealistic and far from reality our propaganda, our parenting is. And I woke up in the matrix realizing कि साहब ये गड़बड़ है, हम लोगों को कहानी कुछ और सुनाई गई है, reality is something else. And then I started my research into scriptures and different ideologies. I studied Buddhism, I studied uh, Sikhism, of course, Hinduism, a lot of it, particularly the Mahabharata. So, Mahabharata is where my second awakening started to happen. And in Ketu period 36 to Rahu maturity 42, that was the seeking period. And once my Rahu maturity happened with a Shukra Mahadasha, I had everything figured out. So I know how the world works, and I know why most of the people are so delusional and they're so confused.
That's nice. So what does astrology mean to you at this point? Like, is it everything? Is it your life, your job, your
Uh, it's
karma?
it's my it's a part of my karma. It's a part of who I am. It's a part of my destiny, and it is my path to the truth. Okay. Because there is this major split in the world. You yourself are a doctor, right? And you went deep into Vedanta and all those things. Initially, there are two sides. One side is purely rational. All you can see is the only truth. There is nothing behind that. Once you are dead, you are dead. There is no karma. There is no logic. कहानी खत्म. That's wrong. There is other side. ओहो जी बल्ले बल्ले बस भगवान जी की पूजा करो सब हो जाएगा. Right? कि वो नींबू मैं लौंग गाड़ के यहाँ पे रख दे धन की वर्षा हो जाएगी. That crap doesn't work here. So the world is physical as well as metaphysical. Okay. Astrology is the cutting edge where these two meet, right? You can see them in action. So I open a chart, I start telling a person about himself, and at times they say, "Sir, मेरी माँ इतना नहीं जानती मेरे बारे में." So that's the beauty of astrology. So it has been my path to the truth, and it has been my path to understanding people. Yeah. So it has been one of the greatest discoveries of my life because I would simply see Lagna Surya hai, that man, no matter how big a job he has, he always wants to run his own things क्योंकि उसको बंद के नहीं रहना. Lagna Shani hai, they will do a very detailed analysis of everything. It works like absolute mathematics. Most of the cases, I would say 90%. So it is path to the truth. It is my holy service, and it is something I love doing. So I've been extremely lucky in this case. When you get something you love and you may make money out of it, life is good. Yeah.
So do you analyze your chart
Oh yes, a
completely?
lot,
Do you
a
a
lot.
lot?
Yes.
So every day do you
No, no,
analyze
no,
it?
no, no, no.
No, just every year or something like that.
Now, whenever I'm under pressure, plus I have my dates written कि इधर से इधर तक कलेश होगा types.
Best,
But the
what
best
does
part
it?
of reading your own chart is you get to know who you are. Right? वो जो सेल्फ डिस्कवरी का एस्ट्रोलॉजी इज टूल ऑफ सेल्फ डिस्कवरी फर्स्ट एंड फॉरमोस्ट. वह यू नो आई लव दिस स्टोरी कि एक आदमी एक कंपास होता है ना वो डायरेक्शन बताने वाला. ही वेंट आउट टू बाय अ कंपास एंड देयर वर अदर पीपल सेलिंग इट फॉर 100. देयर वाज अ मैन सेलिंग इट फॉर 500. He was like, why are you selling it for 500? He said, this has a mirror in it. बोले मिरर का क्या करेंगे? He said, look, कंपास बताएगा डायरेक्शन किधर खो गया, मिरर बताएगा खो कौन गया. So
Okay.
astrology is the compass and the mirror. So once you realize who you are, what you can, what you cannot do, then you design your life around it. You know, we have this one size cookie cutter approach, especially Indian parents. सुबह उठो 5 बजे, भगवान जी की पूजा करो, प्राणायाम करो, स्कूल जाओ, डिसिप्लिन, डेडिकेशन, मोटिवेशन, हार्डवर्क. Rubbish. Absolute rubbish. So we have a very shani system. I was born with sun in the first. I can never take a strict discipline. That's my problem. Yeah. So once I realized this, I have designed my life as per my whims and fancies. Okay. So when you have sun in the first, you are born with ADHD. Yeah. So I have several things juggling all the time. That is why I have an assistant, I have an editor, I have a driver. Nobody knows मेरा schedule क्या होगा, including me. I wake up and I decide कि आज ये करना. And I can change my mood in mid of the way. And I don't curse myself for that कि यार discipline नहीं. Screw discipline. You need to sculpt your life according to yourself. लोग क्या करते हैं? I will get into this, I will train for this, and then I will become this. You are born with it, or you are not born with it. So you have this innate compulsion to live your way in life. That has been my problem, and my business has given me this thing. So that's, I have designed my life to suit me because I cannot change who I am. The biggest problem is people think they can change themselves. No, you cannot. You're born with it. No amount of dedication, motivation, hard work is going to make a fish fly. Let the poor thing swim here.
Did you figure out what your astrology chart is in? What is your purpose? Like, do you figure
Yeah,
out from
yeah,
your
yeah.
chart?
Yeah.
Like,
I
would
did.
you
I
like to
did.
share?
देखो, you know, every 5-year-old knows his purpose. It is when society, parents, media, everything takes over, then the hell starts. But when I went into astrology, I realized I'm a double Capricorn. I cannot take orders. Double Capricorn, Sun, Mercury in first. The last man who would take orders. So when you realize कि आपका chart क्या है, okay, then I design my life accordingly. And plus, I do not believe in this, blind obedience to the system. I have realized my purpose. I'm working on it. I'm working on that life coaching channel. अभी ज़्यादा हो नहीं पा रहा, but whatever I've done, it's worth listening to. Plus, I'll be working on a spiritual channel very, very soon. So it's today that I'm announcing, and this time I will launch it when I have at least 100 shorts ready, and maybe 5 to 10 videos, so that I don't crash it this time.
Very nice. So is there something still you're still struggling with? You still have something which you're not good at, you're trying to work on it, in life
If
or
I'm
in your
not good at
personality?
something, I give it one good try and then I let it go. So Nassim Taleb once said, a common man tries to hide his weaknesses. A magnificent man wears it like jewels. I'm bad at it, I'm bad at it. I'm indisciplined, I'm indisciplined. This is why. You cannot be good at everything. You can be maximum good at 2, 3 things. Stick to them, focus on them. Life is not about improving your weaknesses. It is about building, doubling down on your strengths. That is how you win. I've seen your chart. It is a doctor's chart. But अगर घर वाले मार पीट के आपको इंजीनियर बना दिए होते, you would have been in a different this thing, right? You're born with it. Doctors are born, bureaucrats are born, engineers are born, astrologers are born, businessmen are born.
I see a lot of books behind your in the background. So you seem to be a book reader, right?
Oh
Like you
yes,
love reading books.
voracious, voracious. I was 8 year old. I would almost empty my father's wallet before every train journey, and I'll finish them up. I was 8 or 9 when I started to read novels, and written 1 or 2, and I keep reading. अभी तो आजकल I've transferred to Kindle because my wife warned me कि इससे ज़्यादा घर में नहीं होंगी. So I have a lot of e-books, maybe couple of hundred. So this is what I do. I read a lot. वो उसमें था ना गेम ऑफ थ्रोन्स में टिरियन लैनिस्टर वो कहता दिस इज व्हाट आई डू आई ड्रिंक एंड आई नो थिंग्स एंड दिस इज a mind need books like a sword needs sharpening stone. So Sun Mercury first house you have to feed the beast. I have a very hyperactive brain. I go to sleep with an audiobook speaking in my ear. तो छोटा वाला ब्लूटूथ वाला लगा लिया and just it's like glory to me.
Any favorite books you like?
Absolutely, C. Rajagopalachari, Mahabharat, nothing comes close. So that is a book which was hidden behind all this flood of mediocre translations. Mahabharata is an epic which was very, very complicated and it was simplified to, very mediocre stuff. But you read C. Rajagopalachari, I've read Kesari Mohan Ganguly wala Mahabharata, like 5,000 pages. So, but C. Rajagopalachari, 300 something pages, has done a beautiful job with the epic. And that was the book which started my awakening. And I was like, यार हम लोग का हिस्ट्री ये था और हम लोग ये इतना बल्ले बल्ले कैसे हो गए हम लोग 1000 साल गुलाम रहे. So that's my all time favorite book. उसके अलावा तो बहुत सारे हैं मॉडर्न. इसमें आई लाइक नसीम तालेब. उनकी एक बुक है फूल्ड बाय रैंडमनेस. Beautiful book. So I'm more of a non-fiction guy, not big on fiction. I'm more on non-fiction. And Parash Trivedi's books, awesome. His book is Peace Gita. It's like a very, you take a very, very deep concept, you simplify it, put it forward in some paragraph or quotations or a small poem. He's done that. So these few books I would recommend to everybody. उसके अलावा I like Carl Newport. Fiction, I read Stephen King, horror.
Horoscope.
Good one.
Any comics you like?
Comics, I used to like particularly Super Commando Dhruv करके आता था, if you remember. His beauty was unlike Nagaraj and all, he did not have any supernatural powers. He'll simply think his way out of things. So he would be able to apply his brains. I also like to read Sherlock Holmes. Loved that thoroughly. Then I've read a lot of Osho. Lot of Osho. He has had his own share of problems. He was a genius. I have read Ayn Rand. Atlas Shrugged is one of my favorites, although I don't totally agree to it, but it still is beautiful, this thing. But one thing I've learned, there is a thinker, he is a defense thinker. His name is Dan Shuftan. Very few people know about him. One of the wisest men alive, and he says one thing. He is Israel security advisor. Okay? And he says one thing: look, things would never be perfect, and great things come from the golden middle. They don't come from extreme left or extreme right. And I realized that to be true. So you cannot go all Ayn Rand in life. That is impractical. You cannot go all Karl Marx in life. That is also impractical. And basically, behind all this tamasha, there is this particular clique which is running the show. You apparently Sun Shani आपस में लड़ रहे, पीछे से राहु puppeteer बना हुआ. That's the truth of the world. In fact, Epictetus I love a lot. Marcus Aurelius I'm not a big fan. हल्ला मचा हुआ उसका. Stoic philosophy I used to read in 2014. जब तक एंड्रयू टेट और ये वो ने ढोलक नहीं पीटी थी उसके. And these guys are an insult to Stoicism, Andrew Tate and all his gang. Marcus Aurelius was a king. A king can write a lot of rubbish, get away with it. Epictetus was a slave who became a teacher. So that's the guy you need to check out. बाकी तो खूब सारे हैं, but these are few of my favorite.
So you like political scenario books or adventure or
Not adventure. I'm a truth seeker. Okay. I wanted to find out how the world works. There is a book called Free Range Humans by Matthew Stephens. A scary reality of the world. Okay. Then there is Animal Farm by George Orwell. You read that book, you will never read a newspaper in your life. You will never listen to a political debate. I haven't purchased a newspaper since 2014. I haven't seen the news bulletin since 2020. The world has been dumbed down. Despite मुझे उम्मीद थी इंटरनेट आएगा, सब लोग बहुत सारी किताबें पढ़ेंगे, this that. Then I realized कि यहाँ पे तो टिकटॉक बनने शुरू हो गए, काम लग गया नई जनरेशन का. But there would be a resistance for sure. There is this slow underground movement that's simmering.
since you talk about AI, obviously it AI infiltration in astrology and like people getting fear mongering. क्या कर सकते हो आप मतलब there are very few people who should like protect this profession or the science or this knowledge.
There's a more than artificial intelligence, natural stupidity is doing harm to astrology.
Yeah.
Yeah? वो बड़े बड़े मथे पर टिक्के टिक्के लगा करके आ जाते हैं, जी ये कर दो ऐसा हो जाएगा, धन वर्षा हो जाएगी, नींबू गाड़ दो, फिटकरी जला दो. केड़ी धन वर्षा, भूखा मर रहा पूरा देश. If it were that easy, people, everybody would be rich, no? You need to seriously discriminate between what astrology is and what it is not. AI will never be able to replace a good astrologer. Okay? Reason being, वो एक certain algo पे चलता है. And एक चार्ट पे वो एक ही जैसा prediction देगा. What has changed? The client's circumstances have changed. If he is 22, I might tell him कि भैया get married, but if the same chart is 42, I'll tell him not to get married. भाई आप तो कुछ और हो, वो तो कहेगा सारे धनु लग्न वाले ऐसे बल्ले बल्ले. Doesn't happen. तो मेरा जॉब सिक्योर है, कहीं ना जा रहा है, एस्ट्रोलॉजी का जॉब कोई एआई नहीं खा रहा. दूसरी चीज, देयर इज ऑलवेज दिस एक्स फैक्टर, ओके, व्हिच इज कॉल्ड ईश कृपा, जिसको हम इंट्यूशन बोलते हैं. सो एआई runs on absolute algorithm. It doesn't have a soul. Plus, people would want to listen to a human being always. Plus, there are certain principles which are not on the internet, and very important principles. 90% of internet astrology is rubbish. So your AI is 90% rubbish. कर लो, क्या होता है आपसे? आप वेब एमडी पढ़ के डॉक्टर बन सकते हो क्या? एंड दिस इज अ नेवर एंडिंग फील्ड. कुछ साल पहले पराश त्रिवेदी बॉटबैट नक्षत्र, उस पर कहीं कुछ है ही नहीं खास. एआई के साथ वही हो रहा है जो हमारे यंगस्टर्स के साथ हो रहा है, लॉट ऑफ गार्बेज इन गार्बेज आउट। आई एम नॉट वरिड। हाँ, जो बिल्कुल मैथमेटिकल टास्क हैं, जो बिल्कुल ए इक्वल टू बी वाले हैं, वो तो गए। ठीक है। जो सिंपलिस्टिक टास्क है कि साहब मेरे अकाउंट का बैलेंस बता दो, वो गए। सिंपल एवरेज बुलेट पॉइंट बेस्ड फैक्ट बेस्ड रिपोर्टिंग राइटिंग, वो गए। Psychiatrists, astrologers, teachers, they are not going anywhere.
And dentist.
Of course, doctors, yes. I wouldn't take a pill because a bloody algorithm recommends it. So people have to understand this. उसको therapist तो बना लिया लोगों ने, but if you are saying the collective mind is teaching you, collective mind is retarded. Chat GPT has gotten worse over last few years, hasn't it? Don't you feel that? जब भी आया था, it was much better. It was supposed to improve. Now it has regressed to the mean. क्योंकि उसी एआई को स्लॉप बना बना के जनता ने एआई विल टेक अवे रिपीटेटिव मैनुअल टास्क्स, ओके, हाई डिग्री इंटेलेक्चुअल इंटरपर्सनल टास्क आई डोंट थिंक दे विल बी एबल टू। आज भी हम कॉल सेंटर में कॉल करते हैं, वी ट्राई टू गेट टू अ ह्यूमन बीइंग। ये तो 25 साल से है, एक दबाए, दो दबाए, तीन दबाए, वी ऑल हेट इट, डोंट वी?
Yeah.
So yes, it will take a lot of regular corporate jobs, especially data entry, ये वो जो बिल्कुल absolutely fact based brainless काम है, वो कर देगा। Things which need complicated intelligence, human intervention नहीं लेगा।
So we may either go for a more humanist world more than जब मतलब we should probably be more human now,
Oh
more
yes,
social, right? This could
oh
trigger
yes,
something like that. People might be more
it will happen.
human.
Let me tell you, people will pay more for human content and human interaction. People will get so tired of AI slop.
It
आज
might reverse the whole thing.
yeah, it will. It is going to. Or with the color printer, you can have a Mona Lisa or whatever. Still, people pay a lot for hand paintings. What would you like to read? An email or a handwritten letter by a friend? So, if you are
This
good
looks
at
like
what you do, if you love your clients, if you love people in general, you're safe.
this looks like a good background for a movie. Any favorite movies?
Oh yes, Madbul, if you've seen that.
Hmm.
Irfan is the only Khan I love. Okay, plus Pankaj Kapoor plays that Abbaji thing. Awesome movie. So then the Matrix movie, of course, especially first and fourth. People hate the last Matrix, Matrix Part 4, Resurrections. I absolutely love it. Must watch for anybody undergoing a midlife crisis. Yeah, it shows कि क्या हो गया, क्या हो सकता था, and how to come out of it. Then there is Pursuit of Happiness. Life is Beautiful. Braveheart, I love. Braveheart. Godfather series, yes, definitely, because it has a lot of astrological overtones. You know, Godfather is Capricorn, Michael is a Scorpio, Sonny is an Aries. You can see.
Any role you would play if you got a chance? If you
Uh,
were given a role to play or something?
Godfather Don
Wow.
Corleone.
And why?
Double Capricorn, that's me. If Don Corleone would dress like a child and would have a motor mouth, it would be me.
That would
I
be a
dress
star
as
appeal. You have a star appeal literally because you're an astrologer.
so I'm a young man's astrologer. I get all these millennials and Gen Z clients. Boomers तो आते ही नहीं मेरे पास में. Only astrologer in India. So once you have seen the truth, you have seen the truth. There are things I cannot speak because they would be too controversial. But I know at times I tell my clients कि भैया ऐसा मत करो. So the truth is not always convenient, but it always works.
So you see so many clients आप देखते हो and sometimes some people had asked that do you get attached to your clients? Does it affect your life? There's so many and how do you protect yourself from just as a medical profession, if you treat a patient, you can get sick, ऐसे अगर analogy लें,
Mhm.
does that work in astrology? How do you not get affected by people or you like them or in that perspective?
I have a lot of gratitude for my clients. Who am I? If you take astrology away, who am I? I'm a nobody. मेरा जॉब छोड़े वो 10 साल हो गया यार. I care about my clients दिल से. If my kids are eating, it's because of my clients. So इनके नमक का हक अदा करना है. Right? I'm one of the rare astrologers who give the money back chart. नहीं समझ में आ रहा है, here's your money, go back. Sorry. Attachment in the sense I care about most of them, especially the young crowd. So for a lot of uh, young ladies, I am the dad they never had. पेरेंटल ट्रॉमा बहुत है. बूमर्स ने गंद मचाई है जम के. Every millennial and early Gen Z I've seen has parental trauma. So वो संभालना पड़ता है. As long as you don't care for them, you don't bother to get into it because मुझे दिख रहा है उसका दर्द क्या है. Right? Coming to protect myself, I do my rituals, but until unless you really care for them right from the heart, I have a Cancer moon in 7th house. So I connect from the heart, but I don't do face-to-face consultations. If you do that, वो energy exchange हो जाता है. Right, so that is why I insist कि first तो मैं phone पे ही करूँगा. If somebody wants to meet me and I like them as a person, second meeting के लिए I can meet them somewhere. So it also helps, and when you care genuinely, authentically, it shows in your work. It shows in the kind of love your clients had for you. आप YouTube में channel में मेरे comments में पढ़ो. So much love pours on कि इतना तो मेरे family से नहीं मिलता मेरे को.
So if you didn't have astrology or you're not in a corporate life, what else would you have done better?
Written books, written blogs. I used to read a lot, write a lot. YouTube channel मजबूरी में खोलना पड़ा मेरे को. I'm not a camera friendly guy, but I would have been a writer, a content creator, maybe a dharmic preacher, could be. Not a Babaji types, but more of a philosophical analysis.
So you say about the corporate life, तो आपने you had to go through it, but in all this process, कुछ सीखा आपने? What was that? You have to learn from your failures. Like, so corporate life ने आपको क्या सिखाया? What
बहुत
did you
कुछ
learn?
सिखाया. I worked for a very, very good company. I worked with bosses who were geniuses. I learned leadership from them. आज भी mentor हैं मेरे पहले boss विवेक सर. हर गुरु पूर्णिमा I call him up and all that. So I was lucky enough to get into corporations when they were not so villainous. And as long as I was in Mercury period, I have beautiful bosses. You know, मेरे को सबसे पहले मेरे बॉस ने एक लाइन दी थी which made my motto. He said हर आदमी हर काम नहीं कर सकता. I know what you are capable of and I know what you cannot do. I was like, this is a good boss. Then I was moved into a role where I had to interview thousands of people. So I was good for them, done campus recruitments, everything. So सीखा बहुत. So you have these, people who were like gold medalists of IITs and Thapar College and ISBs and XLRIs. So working with them, I learned a lot. There are certain concepts, certain trainings, certain management tools which you use, which I still use. Gauge RNR Six Sigma का बहुत बढ़िया tool था, and it became sort of the bedrock of my research. Okay. Most of the time, if you take an astrology book, ये लिखा हुआ तो ये होता होगा. हमें सिखाया गया null hypothesis. कि you try and see is it repeatable and reproducible, only then it is right, otherwise screw the hypothesis. So 80% of whatever was written in books and websites was useless. So I run my own thing.
If you had an option to go back and change something or one thing in your life, what would that be and why? You have one chance, destiny has given you. Would you go back and change something?
A lot of things actually. But
Really?
if I could
Any one
just
particular
pick
and why?
one, maybe I would go to a 16-year-old and hand him over a copy of the Mahabharata. Rest would follow. Because it taught me not to take bullshit no matter कहाँ से आ रहा है. Could be your seniors, could be your relatives, could be your bosses, could be the media, could be the government. Screw them. Dharma rakshate rakshita. So it was an eye opener for me particularly. Uh, that was, if I have to pick one moment where all that started, that would be it.
So that's a big, that sounds like Mahabharat is like the pinnacle of your influence in life, right? Is there still any question, one question, you're still looking for that answer? What is there something you're still looking for कि इसका इस चीज़ का जवाब नहीं मिला? It's more of like a very philosophical question or spiritual question होता है ना, आपको एक कोई ऐसी सवाल है जिसका रिप्लाई आज तक नहीं मिला है, would you be able to?
मुझे यार बहुत सारे मिल गए हैं. Okay, at least when it comes to the physical, social, psychological working. Spiritual knowledge, there is a lot that I need to learn, and there are a lot of metaphysical questions which I have. But I'm at peace कि वो अपने आप हरी कृपा से पढ़ते पढ़ते कभी.
It'll sink in, it'll download.
Yeah, it'll download. It comes through a download actually. So it comes through a download. It comes through जिसको कृपा बोलते हैं ना. It happens. So whenever it happens, you just have to keep yourself ready. You have to keep the vessel wide open, and it will happen. But in terms of how society works, how people work, how corporations are working, I know my crap. I've broken the matrix. So वो सारे जवाब मिल चुके हैं. They made me a little bitter initially when I realized कि यार मस्त कटा अपना तो. But once awakening happens, you learn to live with it. अभी मेरा ये mission है, before I die, I want to give this knowledge to most of the people, especially to youth, to just wake them up. इसीलिए हर पिक्चर का हीरो यूथ होता है ना. हम बुढ़े नहीं होते फिल्मों के हीरो. होने चाहिए दो चार फिल्में तो ऐसी होनी चाहिए, मिडिल एज हीरो है, स्ट्रगल कर रहा है लाइफ में, कुछ
Your
सडनली.
Godfather movies तो all बुढ़े लोग, right? Godfather में तो सब बुढ़े लोग थे.
नहीं नहीं नहीं, गॉडफादर तो पूरी मूवी में ही वॉज देयर ऑन स्क्रीन फॉर 20% ऑफ द टाइम. ही वॉज द ओनली ओल्डर वन. बाकी तो सारे यंग थे. माइकल वॉज अ यंग अनमैरिड आर्मी गाय. सोनी वॉज एन अर्ली 30s गाय.
Yeah.
Movie world, it's more of a young man's thing. And young people can adapt. I love the youth. मेरा reverse aging हुआ है. As a young child, I was very, very serious. I was one of the most boring, serious, committed guys you can think of. आज की डेट में I'm a holy mess and absolutely enjoying it. छोटे होते I was loved by the elders. Today, I'm more of a youth guy.
And you talk about this awakening. So after, you've realized your life, you've lived, what does now God mean to you now at this point in your life?
Everything. Everything. You know? In fact, I think we need less thought about God and more thought about materialism, at least in this country. Because वो कह दिया किसी ने, साहब ब्रह्म सत्य जगत मिथ्या, हम बल्ले 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 बल्ले, संस्कृत में बोला ठीक है होगा. दैट इज राइट फॉर मुनीज एंड सन्यासीज. आपके पास में लाखों मंदिर है, उसमें गंदगी कितने होते हैं भैया. जगत इस प्रकट ब्रह्म. आप टेक्निकली पेड़ों की पूजा करते हो, कितने जंगल काटे हुए हैं अपना. गंगा हमारी माँ, कितना गंद डाला हमने. अगले कहते हैं इट्स अ नॉन लिविंग थिंग, उनकी नदियां तल्ला दिखता था. दिस इज शेयर लेजीनेस एंड हिपोक्रेसी. हम बल्ले बल्ले हो गए साहब. सो यू नीड अ बैलेंस. अगेंस्ट गुड थिंग्स कम फ्रॉम द गोल्डन मिडल, राइट. या तो भाई सारे जैन मुनि बन जाओ, ठीक है, कहानी खत्म. मुझे मेरा प्रणाम है उनको. एक्सट्रीम मटेरियलिज्म वो भी गलत है कि साहब एक बिलियनर है वो सारे कुछ खा जाए. तो अच्छे लोगों में ये ट्रॉमा हमेशा रहता है, कंफ्यूजन हमेशा रहता है कि साहब माया मिली ना राम. भाई वर्ल्ड इज सिंथेसिस. इफ यू आर इन गृहस्थी, माया भी आवश्यक है, राम तो आवश्यक है. अब यू सिट इन नेचर, यू आर अ नेचर लवर, ठीक है. ये आपके पेड़ पौधे हटा करके गुड़गांव के कंक्रीट के किले में मैं आपको रख दूं, यू विल स्टार्ट विथरिंग, राइट. Nature is a living God. So yes, there is a supreme power. But there are clues on walking to that path. But वो path पे चलने के लिए you need wisdom. You don't need पागलपन. Dharma is wisdom. Dharma rakshate rakshata. So when you do the right thing and you are wise about things, life is good. You may not always win, but it is very few times. देखो luck का कुछ नहीं कर सकते. On a bad day, anything can happen. But most of the times, wise people they come out on the top. So you keep your intentions clean, you keep your heart clean, you use your wisdom. Wisdom is the key. So it is about being in harmony with yourself. Swadharma is a thing, right? You do what you were born to do. You don't do what the next Instagram reel wants you to do, right? You had to become a doctor, you became a doctor. You are happy being who you are. I'm happy being who I am. Because we are following Swadharma. You follow Swadharma. That is where astrology comes in. कि भाई आप क्या कर्मा ला रहे हो? What is the path for you? So for me, it is about living in harmony with nature and your own nature, with Prakriti and Swadharma, and Dharma as defined by the wise scriptures. That's it. उसका bedrock क्या है? कर्मा.
तो इज देयर फेवरेट इष्ट देवता और देवी? आप
माँ काली.
किसके?
माँ
काली.
काली. माँ भद्रकाली in Kurukshetra. Again, Mahabharat connection. Yeah,
So you have a
that is.
lot of Mahabharat. It's like embedded in you. आपकी
Yeah,
सारी लाइफ इज महाभारत से
yeah,
भरपूर.
yeah. Seriously. I have a Mangal Rahu in Leo and Sun in the first house. तो थोड़ा एक then Punjabi by blood.
And
So
yeah, Kurukshetra तो हरियाणा is
yeah, yeah. And
सब
Kurukshetra the
कुछ.
greatest battle. So, और मैं accidentally वहां पहुंचा था. मुझे वो होता ना कि you don't call the East calls you when the time is there. Then yes, blessings of Sai Baba of Shirdi. Uh, मैं बहुत रेगुलर नहीं हूँ अपने पूजा पाठ में. I keep missing it, but the sheer heart devotion is there.
So then, 2026 अब आने वाला है, and with the blessing of mother, how do you plan to continue, make it your best year of the life, and क्या suggest करेंगे viewers के लिए आप?
I don't do
Any
mundane
thoughts?
astrology. मेरा ये मानना है यार, साल कोई सा हो वक्त अच्छा होना चाहिए. आई डोंट गिव अ डैम अबाउट कि कैलेंडर में क्या लिखा हुआ. टाइम बढ़िया चल रहा है ना, बल्ले बल्ले. इट्स द इटर्नल नाउ. ओके, इट्स 2026 है, ये कौन डिसाइड किया? या ग्रेगोरियन कैलेंडर. इट्स ऑलवेज द इटर्नल नाउ. नाउ बढ़िया जाना चाहिए.
Very, very well said.
सो देयर इज दिस बुक कॉल्ड द पावर ऑफ नाउ.
Yeah.
उससे पहले मुझे ये था, एज अ चाइल्ड एट टाइम्स यू कैरी दैट संस्कार विद यू. So I used to think I cannot go one moment back in time, one moment forward. I am always stuck in the now. So the concept of time is very confusing. It's the concept of change and movement. But time तो हमने invent कर रखा है. There is no such thing like time. It's the eternal now. अभी के नाव में दिन है, बाद के नाव में रात होगी. You cannot go beyond. It's the eternal now. So now बढ़िया जाना चाहिए भाई लोग. And when you live with wisdom, okay, ठीक है, there are difficult periods you go through. शनि आ गया, राहु आ गया, केतु आ गया, मून डैमेज वट एवर. तो वो महादशा अंतरदशा इज द रियल डील दैट टेल्स यू कि भाई इतना पीरियड खराब है. आई प्लान टू लॉन्च अ स्पिरिचुअल चैनल दिस ईयर. लाइफ कोचिंग वाले मैंने बहुत गड़बड़ करी, इस बार गड़बड़ नहीं करूंगा. लॉन्च इट व्हेन द कंटेंट इज रेडी.
Maybe you can merge all of them.
नहीं, वो फिर घिचपिच हो जाता है.
Sketch which, yeah, very true, very
You
true.
have to keep it specific for specific people.
Any final messages or final message you would like to share, and we can all benefit from it as a viewer? Any last message?
Learn to live out of truth and wisdom. Wisdom is the answer. No matter what your problem is, wisdom is the answer. Okay? Stop listening to propaganda. Stop worshipping celebrities. Stop worshipping politicians. Stop worshipping companies. ये खुदा नहीं है, खुदा एक है. When you look at the truth, when you act out of wisdom, time कितना भी खराब हो, you will do better. Wisdom is the answer, no matter what the problem is.
What a beautiful conversation we had. I mean, itna your perspective on life, experience. I think this is a very priceless thing you'll be sharing with your audience today.
आई होप सो, ये बाल धूप में नहीं सफेद किए ना? So thank you so much for conducting this, and it was beautiful talking to you. And
Yes, same here. And thank you again for giving this chance. And I hope that we can keep hearing more from you.
yeah,
And
yeah, spiritual channel pe you will be one of my regular guests. It's a part of my to-dos. Dr. Vedanta. Maybe a monthly or a quarterly thing, but you'll definitely be making appearance and we'll have those discussions.
pleasure is mine.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.